band Heart is well known for having some heavy and crunchy riffs, and one of those riffs, of course, is from the song Barracuda, which may be the band's most famous song. Heart originally released Barracuda in 1977. It didn't quite crack the top 10 on the Billboard charts, but it nonetheless remained a signature song for the band, and it defines what is basically the heavy side of Heart rather than their pop side. But would you be surprised to know that this signature riff might actually have been stolen, or at least heavily influenced, by another band, and that band was in fact covering a song. So the song Barracuda is actually based on a riff from Joni Mitchell by way of another band. I'm going to let Nancy Wilson explain to you the chain of inspiration for the song. Here is Nancy Wilson talking about the origin of the Barracuda riff.
And Nazareth had a hit with a Joni Mitchell song that they covered called This Flight Tonight that had that kind of that riff. And so we kind of borrowed that and we made it into Barracuda. And then we saw the guys from Nazareth later and they were pissed. They were, you took our riff. But it's, that's what everybody kind of, you borrow from what you love and then you make it your own. But it's one of those sounds too. It's one of the guitar tones that I'm still trying to figure out what we did.
All right, so first off, the song This Flight Tonight is a Joni Mitchell song that is originally acoustic based and doesn't really sound anything at all like the riff you would associate with Barracuda. Now, the Nazareth version of This Flight Tonight sounds a lot closer, but it's not an exact match. So the chug, chug, chug part is quite clearly inspired by the Nazareth version, but the guitar tone is quite different and the arrangement of the song is very different, as well as the vocal melody that goes over the top of it, the lyrics, and the basic feeling of the song. So my opinion on this is that Nancy Wilson is absolutely correct in her idea that they were borrowing, but I wouldn't go so far as to call it actually plagiarism or stealing. But I do think that if you were Nazareth and you had come up with that riff for your twist on the Joni Mitchell song, the original song, you might feel like you had been robbed, like someone had just taken your best idea, because clearly the most creative thing they did with their version of the Joni Mitchell song was to speed it up and make it chunkier. And this is exactly what the ladies in Heart took from the Nazareth version and then turned into Barracuda. So I'm going to leave the final word on this up to you. Do you feel that Heart is guilty of stealing a riff in this case, or do you feel, as Nancy Wilson says, they were simply influenced and that borrowing is a common practice in music, and in this case with Barracuda, they didn't cross that line? This is what I think, but what really matters is what you think. So if you have an idea about this or any other topic connected to classic or contemporary music, please drop it in the section below, and remember to like and subscribe. Also check out the join button that's available. If you choose to become a channel member, you'll gain access to members only badges, polls, videos, and other cool perks you can see when you click on the button. You can also help support the channel by clicking on the Buy Me a Coffee link, going to the Buy Me a Coffee site, and leaving a donation. Every little bit helps this channel stay strong. Thanks a lot.